The U.S. China trade war is a major geopolitical and economic conflict, starting in 2018 under U.S. President Trump. It involves escalating tariffs and trade barriers, focusing on trade imbalances, technology, intellectual property, and global power dynamics. The U.S. has concerns over its trade relationship with China, mainly due to a substantial trade deficit. In 2018, the U.S. imported $539 billion in goods and exported only $120 billion. Intellectual property issues also fueled tensions, with accusations of forced technology transfers and cyber theft. China's Made in China 2025 plan aimed at dominating industries like AI and robotics, perceived by the U.S. as a threat to its global competitive stance. In 2018, Trump imposed tariffs on steel and aluminum, followed by tariffs on $34 billion worth of Chinese goods, reciprocated by China. Tariffs expanded to cover $200 billion worth of Chinese products by September 2018. In 2019, trade talks faltered, leading to rising tariffs and accusations, including the U.S. labeling China a currency manipulator. December saw a framework for a Phase 1 trade deal. The Phase 1 deal in January 2020 marked a temporary easing of tensions, with promises of China's increased purchase of U.S. goods and commitments to improve IP protection. From 2021 to 2023, under President Biden, the focus shifted towards multilateral cooperation with allies. The economic implications for the U.S. included higher costs for consumers and manufacturers and disruptions to supply chains, leading companies to move production out of China. Globally, the trade war slowed economic growth, with organizations like the IMF adjusting forecasts. China faced a decline in exports to the U.S., driving efforts to boost domestic consumption and invest in self-reliance in tech sectors like semiconductors. The trade war produced winners and losers, with Southeast Asian economies benefiting from production shifts, while U.S. farmers faced losses. Technology competition became a focal point, with the U.S. imposing bans on Chinese tech giants like Huawei and restricting semiconductor exports. China countered with initiatives promoting domestic tech and controlling rare earth exports. As of 2024, a comprehensive resolution remains elusive, with Trump-era tariffs largely intact. The rivalry has evolved from economic disputes to encompass strategic and ideological challenges, especially concerning technology and national security. The U.S. China trade war has transformed global trade patterns, influenced supply chains, and altered international relations. It grew from a trade dispute into a strategic rivalry involving technological, military, and ideological elements. The path forward hinges on political developments, economic shifts, and whether the nations can strike a balance between competition and cooperation.